Hello and welcome. I'm Old Gannon and I'm here again on the Zipkrowd server. And I'm finally able to make a new episode again. I wasn't able to make one last month, because my microphone, my old one, broke, and I just now got a new one. So yeah, it's a nice USB microphone, so the audio quality should definitely be improved. But let's get right to it, because there are quite some things today I want to show you. And the first thing is here. You maybe already noticed this handsome devil on the wall. Yes, that is the face of my skin on the map. Old Gen is watching you. Oh yes, because the mighty overseer of Vault number 1 is always watching. So let's check out where and how I've built this map. Okay guys, I'm now standing at the exact spot. I pillared a little up. And let's check out what I've built here. Okay, you can see this looks quite a bit different from the map. But this was all necessary to get the colors how I wanted them to be. You can see I have all these slopes, for example the hair, and the hair is all made of dirt. But you can see with the slopes, you can get quite a bit of a variation of one color. So if you make these slopes and they're facing northward to north, that is north, and that is south. If you make them face north, the pixel will be brighter, and if they're facing south, the pixel will be darker on the map. So I've used this for the hair and for the pupils and mouth. You can see I've used cobblestone, because the cobblestone that is sloped like this is actually on the map the darkest or the closest to black you can get. So yeah, there's actually all the interesting stuff to show here. So let's keep this video going. Okay, so now we're at my vault. And let's check out what new things I've built here. So the first thing to note, to look at, is this little refill station. This is for a potion brewing system I've built, and the way this potion brewing system works is it has these chests that are filled with potions, and if you take potions out after a certain threshold, the system will realize that and just start brewing new ones and fill this chest. These lamps on top of here, they just indicate whether or not there are enough water bottles up on top there, but the system doesn't crash when there are no water bottles left in the system. It just waits until you refill it. So this is just a little thing I added because it looks nice and it adds a little to the functionality. Okay, so how does this work? I have this the brewing system looks like this. Every brewing system is too wide and is basically a separate thing. So what happens is there's the brewing stand for the slowness potions, and by default, if it's all filled up, I have in these two hoppers I have 6 potions. So if I now take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potions out, this hopper down here will get completely empty, and you could see it flashing here. So this comparator measures how much is in this hopper, and then will trigger up on top these droppers, which will drop their, the stuff that the ingredients into this little hopper chain, which will then lead into this brewing stand. Then I have this little timer here, which will just time how long it will take the last ingredient to be brewed, because with this comparator I measure when this hopper here is empty, and when this hopper gets emptied, there is 1 ingredient left in the brewing stand. This means I have to wait for as long as 1 ingredient takes to be brewed, and that is, I think it should be roughly about 45 cobble. So the timer then checks the timer then goes on when this hopper is empty, and when the timer is finished timing its time, it will suck out the potions, and then it checks again if there is stuff in its hopper, and if there is, it'll stop brewing, and if there isn't, it'll continue brewing. So this is basically how these brewing systems here work. They are very convenient. You know, you don't have to push a button to start them again. You don't really have to wait. You just take out as much as you need, and the potion brewing will then take care of the rest. Okay, so I'll just take them with me. Okay, so another nice thing I've built here is a little chicken farm. And this chicken farm only holds 24 chicken. I don't know why my entities say 24. And I don't know why my entities said 42. But I remember putting exactly 24 in there, unless someone came in, which I find for highly unlikely. But those guys lay the eggs. The eggs will then get shot out down here onto this half slab. The chickens then, you know, they're kept in there until they grow up into the lava. And then the raw chicken, the cooked chicken drops. I can also flip this lever and suck the items, suck the eggs out of the dispenser back there before they get shot out, so I can also use this as an egg farm. Okay, nice. Yeah, and I use the eggs in combination with my sugarcane farm and my pumpkin and melon farm to get me some pumpkin pie. Very nice food to farm, very easy to farm. Okay, so let's head down, because down below there is some more stuff to show. Okay, so first of all I have this ender pearl elevator and a little water drop to get down to my beacons. 4 beacons and another of my faces, of the face of my skin. I don't really know what weird fascination I have with the face of my skin. I just like to build it. Okay, let's drop down into the water. And wait a minute, do you see this? How are these beacons working? I'm gonna tell you why they're working, because those are not actually the beacons that are giving me an effect. I have 8 beacons down here instead of 4. Yeah, I'm crazy. Okay, so, and you can see down here, I've built this little nice lobby kind of area, and I have these little ways going in and out of them, and I have these iron golems as kind of security guards or security robots, because yeah, this build is largely inspired by Fallout. You know, that's why I call it Vault, and that's what I said in the last episode. But now down here I want to build like a kind of like the rich area with maybe a casino, a luxury hotel, and a fancy restaurant. So how does this fit in with this like Fallout inspired build here? So I don't know, this is maybe a little spoiler for the Fallout games, so you might don't want to listen to this, but the vaults are not intended by the Vault Tech and US government, which were building these vaults in the Fallout games. They were not intended to be shelters for the nuclear war, or emergency shelters. These vaults were actually meant to help the Vault-Tec and US government perform sociological experiments on humans. So they did all kinds of crazy stuff in these vaults. Like they put in like maybe one, I think they put in like 99 female vault dwellers and one male, and then looked what happened and wanted to look what happened. And in another vault, they, I think, told the vault dwellers that every year, the overseer, which is basically the guy that runs the place and is in charge, has to be killed and replaced. And, all kinds of crazy experiments. So, and then after like 20 years in that vault, Vault-Tec, the Vault-Tec people and the US government intended to get them out of these vaults again. But what happened was that there was an actual nuclear war, and after that war, the US government and Vault-Tec wasn't there anymore to get the vault dwellers out of these vaults. So the vault dwellers stayed in these vaults for hundreds of years instead of like 20, which was intended. And yeah, that's how all these crazy places then came to be in the Fallout games. And you can even explore them and look at little pieces of information and piece together a story to what happened in these vaults, which is very interesting and a very fun part of the Fallout games. But anyway, down here, so in my vault, it's gonna be a separation of the poor fellows that have to live all close and hunched together in the machinery and the concrete built up between, the farms and all the contraptions and machines, and it's probably smelling bad. And down here, I want to have like all the fancy stuff, quartz. I want to have it a little more colorful, grass, plants. This is going to be the luxury part then. And yeah, we'll see how this turns out. I just basically searching for ways I can build what I want to build, and this is very nice. I can just go wild and build whatever I want, basically. I'm not constricted to this, concrete looking place up there. Okay, so that was all there's to show here, and now I want to maybe take a minute and address why I haven't made a video in over a month, which I'm terribly sorry for. And actually I made a video 1 week after the second episode, but when I recorded that, my microphone already was broken, or it was starting to break, and it had a terrible static, which I said early on, and it was just unbearable to listen to. The static sounded a little bit like the rain in Minecraft, and it was not pleasant to listen to. Because it was quite loud, and the microphone picks up my voice. The old microphone picks up my voice very quiet, so that just increased how terrible it sounded. But now I have a very nice USB microphone. The good thing about this is that it is way easier for me to start recording. I just hit record, and I'm recording and talking. I don't have to, fiddle around with the microphone and test like a million times if the audio gets picked up nicely. So I'll definitely make more frequent the videos. You could even see, if you look at after I uploaded that first server, the first video of the server, the week after that I uploaded a ton of videos. Even if some weren't that popular, I still appreciate some of you guys come by, maybe enjoy, leave me a comment. It's all great. Very great that you are watching. Even if you're still watching, you're awesome. Let me know in the comments if you're awesome. But that's all for now. I'll shoot for one video a week. I can't promise because it's getting more busy in my life at the moment. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you with a little montage of me collecting the items for the first chest of my vault, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.